Now we're going to paint on fabric. A couple things to remember when you're painting on fabric. This is actually a pillow cover. So I put a piece of cardboard inside so it keeps it straight and taut, so it'll be easier to paint on. And what you want to do is you're going to pre-wash your fabric. So if there's any sizing or anything like that in it, it will get rid of it. What you want to do is put out a puddle of paint, and you're going to do 2 parts paint to 1 part medium. And this is a textile medium, and this is going to help the paint adhere to the fabric. And then it's going to make it so it's washable, and it's going to make the paint softer so it's not crunchy when you're when you feel it. All right, in addition to the rose, we also have the hydrangea that works really well for this technique. So I'm just loading this stamp up, and I'm going to... I don't usually use the stem on the hydrangea so that I can create a cluster effect, but if you're doing a single element, it does look really pretty. So let me move this up here. Okay, load. Remember, you want to turn your stamp around so you get different, down, so you get different elements up against each other so you get a different look. Otherwise it just looks like a repeat pattern across the surface. Now, because I'm on fabric, and I have to press really hard to get this image, I'm going to go ahead and come in and take these little spots out here. Normally I wouldn't worry about it. If you're working on a hard surface, you can clean it right back off, but on fabric, can't do that. Okay, so I've already mixed the colors that I'm going to be painting with. Remember, it's 2 parts acrylic paint to 1 part textile medium. So I'm going to go ahead. Now, the hydrangea, because of the way this is laid out, if I just went in and highlighted the centers, which I would normally do on a flower, it's hard to differentiate the flowers from one another. So on this particular one, I've elected to actually go in and color the tips of the flowers and then let the color fade back into the center. So I think you'll be able to see what I'm talking about once I start painting these. Okay, when you're painting on fabric, if you're painting on something like a t-shirt fabric that's really smooth, the paint goes on pretty easy and quickly. On this, because it's a textured surface, you kind of have to scrub the color in a little bit, so it takes a little more effort to get that color in there. Alright, so what I've done is I've placed my red in first, and then what I do is I'm using just 2 colors, red and orange. Then I make a brush mix blend of the red and orange together to give me a 3rd color, and that helps tie my palette all together. So I'm going to continue working on the rest of the hydrangeas and add my leaves in using a medium green, and we'll come back to the full shot.